Reactor spitting fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry. He'll show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a
We're back, baby.
magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision.
All right, not really. Not really. But we're a little back. What's up with the baby comment, man? I like it. What's up, baby? Call me baby, Peter? Yeah, I kind of dig it. Anyway, good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. Man, Jared's gonna be joining us. He'll be a little late today. First day of school for the kiddo. It's a big day too. So Jared will be here a little late. And of course, I want to talk OpenSea. We talked yesterday. That news broke during the show. I mean, right before the show. So we were probably one of the first to cover that story yesterday. So to a degree, we went in depth with it. And of course, we talked about it on the afternoon show, and I talked about it. It's all we're talking about right now, and rightfully so. Although I don't know that we've got any new information on it. In fact, probably the opposite. There's not enough info. People won't shut up about it, myself included. But it's kind of driving me bonkers. It's kind of driving me nuts, guys. Specifically, the tweets about NFTs blanket are securities and art. Like, I can't believe the SEC would call art a security. I can't. What's next, SEC? Pokemon cards are securities? I'm sorry, man. It drives me bonkers. Hey, appreciate you, cats. Yeah, smash the like, guys. And I'll ask you to do another step if you could. It helps. Go on YouTube, or excuse me, go on X. Like the show there. Perfect time for me to tell you, yet again, that changes are coming. In fact, if you want to help me test something later today, guys, I'm going to be doing a Spaces. I might actually, instead of having it just be a test, I might actually run with it. Like actually have a little impromptu Spaces here. But Henry's going to help me out here later today, maybe Joe too. We're going to get a Spaces going, test the video stream here, and we're just going to make sure there's no feedback, that everybody can hear things properly. And I'm going to need some of you guys to come on Spaces too to talk and make sure everybody hears you, and again, that it comes across. If any of you are down to test that with us today, look at that. We build out in the open, right? Other people say they do. I'm really doing it. If anybody wants to help test that, send me a DM. Get me at Hudah_idiot on X. Send me a DM. It's going to be probably in the next few hours here. What was the point there? I swear there was a point. Anyway, the show's changing. We got those little changes. Oh yeah. Part of that is this show, if you're watching on YouTube, you're all set. Nothing changes there. If you're watching on X, and especially if you're watching on the Crypto Slam X account, that's going to change, okay? The Spaces will go from the Crypto Slam X account. It'll go from my personal account, Henry, Joe as well, right? That's for the afternoon show. The Slam X account is where the video feed will go, okay? I'm also debating, God, this is tricky. I want to grow YouTube, of course, but I'm kind of debating just doing it on X. Reason being, I can play any song I want. It's all about the songs, and it's like, I don't know if you guys realize how many of my videos have gotten taken down for like copyright shit. It's a bummer to do the work and then not even have the video live anywhere, although it's all about the live thing. So just, I'm considering that too, having it be an X-only thing, especially, guys, with a video app. They're releasing a TV app. For X, so people can watch those X shows like this show right on their TV. Instead of even casting it, there's a native app, which is awesome. It gets me excited about the growth of all of this stuff. So we'll see. Anyway, if somebody wants to help test, troubleshoot, all that stuff later today, send me a DM. Gravity, good morning, sir. Hey, we got some big mints coming today. In fact, I think one's live now-ish. I definitely want to talk about that. Plenty to talk about before Jared's here, but I'm going to save the art conversation that is art now a security. We'll save that till when Jared's here. Cats, good stuff. You got a meeting at 1. Okay, cool. It'll be in that ballpark. It might be earlier, later. Maybe it's long. Maybe it will still be up when you're done. We'll see. But man, I'll tell you this, I'm really excited to get the chat going. That's it, cats. I miss chatting with you guys. It's a lot of fun when we all just kind of together get to chat through stuff. Of course, it's still going to be a structured show. The whole thing is not going to be chatting. I definitely want to have a show, but either part of the show is for everybody to chat, or once or twice a week, it's a much more open format. So I'll keep you posted with all that stuff. Anyway, let's look at the market here. I said we're back. Well, I said we're back 2 days ago, and I told you can block me. Block anybody who told you NFTs are back. I invited it. Block me. I deserve it. I need to stop making predictions. Whatever. I'm not going to stop. It's fun. And I did think NFTs are back, and the truth is, I do think NFTs are back. I do. OpenSea stuff aside, it's a little bump in the road. It's a little bump in the road, guys. We are back. We are back. Look at the crypto market, though. Bitcoin back over 60K at 60,651 right now, up 2.4% in the past 24 hours. Great. Recovery is in order. ETH at 2,500, almost 2,600. Solana at 145. We're looking all right here. Yeah, Vrew, it was, hey, dude, great getting to know you over the past couple of months here, man. Maybe we'll meet down the road again. We'll see. Looking at the ETH. Oh, and by the way, I am testing more tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I was going to say tomorrow and Friday, but more Friday, and then we'll see what happens next week. But starting to do the typical market update in this show. So I'm going to go through some just quick market stuff, which truthfully I haven't been doing on this show anymore. We're going to start doing that right here. Again, the Inside NFT segment is going to merge here. So with that said, looking at the ETFs, yesterday, Wednesday, 105 million in outflows in the Bitcoin ETFs. The Ethereum ETFs, 5.9 million in inflows. The first day of inflows here in 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. Love to see it. Are we rounding a corner? I doubt it. I doubt it with those ETFs. But milestone moment today, or at least something we got our eyes on, it is the Dell earnings call. That's coming later today. A lot of hopium out there that Dell finally, and we've been hoping this for a little bit here, but will announce some Bitcoin holdings. Have they been buying? Have they been? What's the guy's name? Michael Dell? It is Michael Dell. Holy shit. I think I just pulled that off the top of my brain like I was guessing, but also it must be in there somewhere. Michael Dell. He's been bull posting about Bitcoin for a while now. So a lot of people thinking that Dell maybe secretly, quietly, has been accumulating Bitcoin. And will be yet another feather in our cap here, right? Of big companies going all in on Bitcoin. Will it happen today? I hope so. I hope so, guys. Taking a look at the NFT market, 11.9 million in cross-chain sales yesterday. Sellers down, buyers up, transactions down, trade profits. We saw this earlier, but looking nasty out there. Almost a million in the negative. And I'm going to refresh this because I want to see what today looks like. It is always a rolling total here on the top. So let's see, 823 as of this morning. I've not refreshed since. What do we got? It hasn't changed too much. Still around 850,000 in the negative here. Man, I'm really hoping we round this corner in NFTs. And again, I think we did earlier this week. I think we did. The Pnux, I don't know if I should pronounce it Punks, but the collection, the Punks derivative collection, up to about 130 ETH in secondary sales. Going on almost 48 hours here. It's a pretty impressive number. I'll say that. Looking pretty good. And your top collections, we'll give this a refresh too here. But CryptoPunks, the king of NFTs, at the top on their throne as your number one collection here in the past 24 hours. Anything else noteworthy here? Wifey Station, brand new mint over on Solana. Got as high as number 5 here on the collection rankings. 365,000 in sales. I'm not positive if this includes primary sales. It might. If they're on-chain sales, it shows here, regardless if it's primary or secondary. So this could be primary sales lumped in. I'm not sure. I'm focused on this, though, buyers. 1,260 unique buyers is a pretty big number, guys. Pretty damn big. I mean, look, these other collections, what? 10, 20, 50? 50 is even a big number usually. For daily buyers in a collection, over 1,200. That really, really stands out to me at least. So good to see that. Also, this autoglyph, 250,000, one NFT sale, one. Initially, guys, I thought this was a loan. Often you'll see loans get categorized as a sale, just the way it looks on the blockchain. They appear as sales when in reality they're a loan. This is a sale. This is actually a sale here. But guys, it is actually the cheapest we've seen an autoglyph sell for in years. Kind of want to peek through that collection and look through previous sales, but somebody spooked. Somebody maybe spooked about art being a security. Is this somebody hurting for or hunting for liquidity? Very hard to say, guys, but here, we'll look through at some previous sales here. Take a peek at this. All right, looking at sales. Again, we do see autoglyph on the charts semi-regularly, but keep in mind, most are loans. These are the sales, and these don't move hands much. It's a Grail. Autoglyphs, I hope you guys are familiar, but this is from Larva Labs, right? From Larva Labs, I think it's safe to say it's the first on-chain generative art. I have it wouldn't shock me if somebody came with some historic collection, right? Something very, very early. But as far as I know and remember, and maybe I'm being dumb here, but I think autoglyph is the first on-chain generative art. Again, from Larva Labs. It's pretty iconic. If not historic, it's iconic at least. Anyway, you see the previous sales here. 145 ETH earlier this year. 175 ETH, 115. But look, you got to scroll and scroll and scroll. We're already 2 years back at this point. These do not move hands much. And here you go. 3 years ago, this is back December 2021, an 80 ETH sale. This is the last time, guys, that we've seen a sale that low. Look at that. 871 ETH, 2.2 million for this. Oh, look at that too. That's Snowfro that sold this one. Let's peek at that one. I don't know if there's something special about that one in particular. Sorry, just catches my eye here. Can we click in there? Maybe not. Maybe not. I wonder what it is about that one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why we can't click into that. But either way, big sale. Also 3 years. Wow, what an extreme. From 871 ETH to 80 ETH. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll tell you this. There's a good chance this was actually just loss harvesting. Right? Given that these were selling for 300, 400, 500, 870 ETH to then kind of quickly go to 80 ETH, that was probably loss harvesting. Again, the fact that was December, right? You get in the last year loss harvesting at the end of the year. Oh, actually. Well, that says it right there. What a bummer. Okay, that was probably a stolen NFT. And somebody just dumping right into a bid. I mean, why not? You're not looking to max out your gains on something like that, right? You're taking what's there. Click accept on an offer. You move right on. $200,000. Ooh, that hurts a little bit. That hurts a little bit. Mike, good morning, sir. Good to see you, man. All right, let's go look through some of these mints coming up today, guys. And I'm curious what you guys got on your radar, but today we have FSEC. I'm probably not going to say much about FSEC. But we have Mutable Trees, and I do want to talk Mutable Trees. And I'm curious, is Mutable Trees on your guys' radar? Honestly, been looking forward to this collection for a while now. Really like this collection. There they are, and I don't know even if this is the full view, but Mutable Trees is an on-chain generative art project over on Bitcoin. This comes from Chip, founder of the Ordinal Miners collection. I'm a holder. I'm a community member. I love it there. To be totally honest, for a while, honestly, even now, I call that home. I really like the Ordinals miners community. Tiny little community. I think I've mentioned it here before. Oh, pixel packets. That's right. Hopefully some of you guys got whitelists here. Seeing decent hype around all this stuff, to be totally honest. So, yeah, interesting day given how, I don't know, controversial things are right now is not the right word, but, you know, I know people are a little spooked by the OpenSea stuff, and we're going to talk more OpenSea today. We are. But interesting to see. These are minting right now. Interesting. By the way, NFA. I'm not telling anybody to mint this. I'm pulling it up because I do like it a lot. Ordinal miners holders are getting one of these airdrops, so you are getting it. Interesting to see mints at least happening, given what I think is uncertainty out there and what I think is probably some reservations out there with minting. And right now I've got reservations about minting. I'm not sure that I'm going to mint FSIC. I got a whitelist. I might. It could cook. Mutable Trees, I might mint. Again, I'm getting one free anyway, so I'm not sure. It's a big collection, right? So I'm keeping that in mind with Mutable Trees. Really big collection, 16,000. Over 16,000. But I like the art, man. I really like the art. And especially when it's generative like this. And let's see if we click in if it actually is revealed. But on chain, they don't look like this yet. These actually grow every block. Right? These actually grow and evolve, and they're going to do that for about a year here. So maybe when you start, you've got a little branch. And over time, and again, I love this. It's on chain, guys. But I love this. Over time, the tree is going to grow and grow and grow these branches out. And guys, as seasons change, the tree is going to change. Right? It's going to grow buds. It's going to grow leaves. It's going to grow flowers. In the winter, I think there's going to be, I'm not positive on this, but I think there's going to be snow. I did a video on this. God, do I have that? Let me see. I might have a video on this. And maybe I'm not going to show it because I did do a video for the collection, right? They had a contest, right? Chip may be using that video for promo stuff. I'm not sure exactly. So maybe I won't show it. Maybe I'll save that for Chip if he's going to use it. That said, man, I really, really dig this collection. I really do. Keep it on your radar at the very least. I think you'll see some talk about it. And again, it's just fantastic generative art. It really is. Also, man, if there's traits here, and I'm not sure, but if there's traits, keep your eye out for rarity in this collection. I love it. These are just placeholder images for now, guys, so keep that in mind. I imagine there's traits, and there's rarity, and there's all kinds of good stuff in this collection. So yeah, I dig that. That sale is live right now. I'm going to peek in their Discord and see if there's any more details about it, but I love it. I love it. Gravity, yeah, okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, yeah, just seen a little chatter in the Discord about it. Hey, dude, I like mutants. I really do like mutants. They're wild, man. Mutants are wild. I dig them. God, I dig it. Gravity, what did you say you minted? You minted Fractopulus. Is that a Fractals collection? I'm gonna peek at this again. There's surprisingly there's some action out there. I'm surprised. Maybe if I switch to the 1 hour view here. Lady minted yesterday, I believe, right? I don't know, mint price 0.0007. Eek. Maybe they were free. Maybe that's fine. Fractopus. Let's see. Fractopus. Fracto. I don't know. English, is that an O or an A? Fractopus. Well, if it's on Fractal, and I don't know, because Fractal's still in testnet, maybe we won't see him here. I'm not sure. I'm curious, man. Give me some details. Why? I don't know why I don't see it. But yeah, FSIC mints probably within this hour. It's coming up like right now. Remember, the pre-sale sold out really quickly too. Within an hour, I think there was 800 of those. I think there were 800. I've got some friends on the collab team, so I'm not shitting on them. I'm not looking to rain on those guys' parade, but I've seen enough FUD around Fractals and FSIC, and I've seen some comments out there talking about who is on the FSIC team itself. Again, not the collab guys, but the core FSIC team, and I don't like what I'm hearing. I'll put it that way. I don't like what I'm hearing, and I'm not going to tell who I think it is because I don't think it's confirmed. But I'm starting to get concerned about maybe a group that very much is just extracting from this space. Very much is extracting. And I don't like it. It's very honestly, it's bugging me quite a bit. So part of me wants to mint and pray for some gains, right? Like part of me wants to play. I just want to play. Right? I like trading. But part of me is super disappointed and concerned, and I think if what I'm seeing out there is true and it comes out, it would be mass FUD. It would be one of the most FUDded things we've seen probably this summer as far as drops go. And I think that if you search FSIC out there, I think you'll see it. Let me see. I mean, yeah, FSIC are saying they're not professional miners, but want to try how this goes. Yeah, it's like, it's just because who I'm seeing it is, they have a pattern of drops and things that, again, do nothing but extract, and then there's no follow-up, there's no building, there's no whatever, and the fact that they're trying to stay hidden because they know it'll be said. They know it. They know if they know it'll be FUD. It would be a problem. So only reason I'm not, because I'll move on, is again I know a few people that are on the collab team, and this is not in any way directed to those guys, obviously, but I can't. I got to keep it real. I try to be very honest about stuff, and I don't like what I think I'm seeing behind the scenes. I don't like it. That said, I might mint, and I wish we saw the pre-sale stuff actually hit secondary, just so I could get a feel for what's what. Right? I would like to see it, so I had a better idea if I'm going to mint. I might be leaning towards don't mint, be okay with missing. Right? That's a mindset I can get in. I usually am in that mindset, right? Especially right now when I'm not sure if we're back. I think we're back, but I'm not sure. Given what's happened this week, usually I'm like, okay, let things play out, be okay with missing stuff. When you see stuff turning profitable on secondary, that's your green light to go ahead and mint the next thing. Be okay with missing. You minted Gravity. Okay. All right. Are they, so it's live now. Okay. Now, we can watch secondary here. And look, I don't know how long the whitelist window's open for. I'm not sure. If it's open long enough, then, right, maybe there's an opportunity there. I don't think you're an idiot, man. I think to some degree there's some gambling, there's some taking chances. If you're looking at it as an investment, a flip, whatever. Okay, in 30 minutes it's coming up. Okay. I don't think you're an idiot. I don't think it's a bad play. I don't. But I'm not sure I'm going to support it, and I want to win. I do, but I might be more okay with missing and not. I definitely don't want to lose. It's not a cheap mint. And I don't want to. Yeah, I definitely don't want to lose. I guess as I say it out loud, it's helping me firm up my take. I don't want to lose, and I don't want to support what I think is happening. Maybe I just need a little conviction here. It might be a good flip. Again, this is going to have to get up to close to 0.01, to get your 2x. Could it do that? Yeah. Are people really ready to get that spendy yet? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure we're there. So I might have to be okay with missing. I guess hearing that they're not miners and they're just trying shit out makes me even less confident about it. Why ask for so much money if you don't know? And again, I think I know why they're asking for money. I don't know. Okay, I'll move on from that. If anybody else finds stuff, has thoughts, share them. Share them in the chat. It's definitely worth that conversation. But yeah. Oh, shit. Let me get Jared a link here. Hopefully he's going to make it. I think he will. because I do want to chat art, guys. Monument Game hit its 1 year anniversary yesterday, which I love, man. I would love to hear Jared's thoughts on Monument Game. I would love to hear his thoughts on, what's going on with art securities, OpenSea, all that stuff. And I guess with that said, why don't we do a little talk about OpenSea, which obviously the story we talked yesterday, right? But OpenSea receiving a Wells notice from the SEC. I'll tell you what, I saw something super, super interesting. What did Lemon say? Hang on, Lemon. And Hudah is an authority on knowing if you're an idiot or not. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. Proud idiot here. Yeah. God, guys. I'm second guessing mint, not mint, right? I don't know. I would love a win. I would love a win. But I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that the win is there. And again, the other side of it. I'm staring at it right now on my other screen, looking at the mint page. Yeah, I would like to click it. What is this? 0.0048. So 0.005. Again, it's a $300 mint. VIP whitelist eligible for 3 mints. And how many are available? 3,800 total supply. I think they sold 800. Man, it's a really, really tricky one. It's, again, in Vrew, it's insane. And then when I start piecing the things together, it just makes sense, and it just gives me that bad vibe. I question... To a degree, I question the fractal ecosystem. That might be other FUD out there weighing on me and influencing me. And I don't know. Do you guys, has the fractal team been on any shows? They're not coming on here. I would like them to. They're just busy getting ready for launch, so they said they can't. But have they been anywhere? Right? If there's FUD out there and people questioning that chain or that platform more broadly like that, they probably should get out there and talk. And so far, I'm not seeing it. So, I don't know. OpenSea, did you guys know? Did you guys freaking know OpenSea's got 230-something employees? Did you know that? It's a great question from Farmer Joe. 230 employees? How? Honest to God, guys. What does OpenSea do that they need 230 people to support it? Can you, genuinely asking, guys, right? CryptoSlam, what is there, 15 or so of us? At our peak, I think we were 80. It's 60 or so, I would say maybe 60, 70, maybe 80. And if I'm thinking that peak bull, peak keeping things operating, peak building products, it took that. I get that number, but 230 when it feels like OpenSea's just kind of on autopilot now, right? Yeah, what in the world do you think? Can you help me understand where those people are putting that time? What part of OpenSea requires like a big old team to keep it up? I get the devs. I don't think you need a lot of devs right now over there. Maybe a marketing person, a biz dev person, a community person. But I could probably make a case for like 100. I can maybe make a case for 150. You start getting to 200 plus. I can't quite see it, man. I can't see it. What in the, yeah, I don't even know. I just don't even know. But that said, again, we need more details about this. OpenSea, Wells notice, everybody crying and screaming. How dare they call my art a security? How dare they? And oh no, what are we gonna do? It's over. Chill. Just chill. Some of these projects are securities. I would say a lot of these projects, a lot of these NFTs are securities. And again, we talked this yesterday. It's NFTs with tokens. I think a lot of those are going to be called securities. It's I'm not picking on other side, by the way. It's a good example. But other side, selling land for a metaverse, raising how many, 100 mil plus? How much did they raise on other side? A lot. I think saying 100 mil. I know they burned via gas fees something like 100 mil, some astronomical numbers, just mind-boggling. So that's one that comes to top of mind when I think about this. NFT that is a security. But art, no. You're okay with your art. Yeah, gravity. Art and collectibles have nothing to worry about. Nothing. Profit sharing and yielding ones have a battle to go through. Yeah, and in my opinion, the battle hasn't started yet, man. It's just starting. To me, the OpenSea Wells notice is maybe first shot fired, right? You know, we saw it against exchanges, so we're seeing it on the crypto side already. Coinbase, it's everybody they're naming here, right? Coinbase, Uniswap, Robinhood, Kraken, Consensus. This is our first NFT marketplace, is it not? Right? So far, it's not Magic Eden. It's not Looks Rare. It's not Blur. Yeah. OpenSea is the first NFT marketplace to be facing these kind of consequences, and it won't be the last. So, yeah, in a way, this is kind of the first major shot by the SEC. We had Stoner Cats. We had Impact Theory. We had those couple projects last year. There's been a few others, but this is the first major shot. This is the first major attack on NFTs. And I think they knew this is a big one, and I think that first shot is the signal that maybe the war is really about to heat up here. But yeah, your good old-fashioned collectibles, totally fine. And neither are NFTs, which are generally speaking containers. I like it. I like it. It's like Polly says, it's a receipt. Right? The NFT itself isn't anything. It's what the NFT represents. If it represents a collectible, well, a collectible is a collectible. If that NFT represents an investment, right, something you're buying with the expectation of profits based on the work of other people, keep that in mind, guys. It sounds like a lot of NFT collections. The "we're building" meme, yikes, maybe we shouldn't have gone that far, right? As soon as you say "we're building," you might be opening the door for a different kind of scrutiny here. You might be. So, yeah, I do think a lot of these NFTs are indeed securities. I do think that. We need to learn a lot more. Hang on real quick, guys. Let's get a little groove going here. All right, we're good. Hey, good morning, Andy. Good to see you, man. That's it. Smash the like. Smash the like. It helps. It really helps. That's why I'm so excited to get Spaces going too, man. Spaces just brings in a different audience, you know? Yeah. Smash the like. Hey, what up, Q? Good to see you, bro. When Spaces, man? Well, testing it later today. This show will end up going live video and Spaces. Pick your poison. However you want to ingest, however you want to hang. But yeah, get your asses up on the Spaces. Come talk, come hang. Get motherfucking Q up here, man. Jeez. Miss that handsome fucker. I think Q's going to be doing video too. I heard him say they're going to maybe start with like a Friday video thing, and then we'll see. Maybe go a little deeper. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I need your help yet again. I am asking for your help. because I don't know what the fuck this is. This is good. Whatever it is good. BitGet Global says BG Soul's coming. What? Can someone help me understand what that is? Because BitGet, kind of a big deal. It's a big old exchange. But what is BG Soul? BG Soul, I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to pull this out of my ass. But BG Soul, stablecoin, their platform token. I kind of lean towards some kind of, stablecoin. I don't know. But whatever that is, bullish. I'd say bullish. You're on BitGet. Okay, what is BitGet, Lemon? What's the, like an exchange? What would BG Soul be? Solana's really turning into something special, though, isn't it? It also gives me hope that TON ecosystem can turn into something special, right? It's not just ETH and Bitcoin as the top dogs and then Sol made its way in, right? It's not just that. It's not just Solana as the next big blockchain. I hope everybody understands how big this space really is going to get. Really, really. Like, still, picture 10 years out from now. It's not just going to be ETH, Bitcoin, Solana. We all know what's going to happen on Base. We know Base is going to cook. I think Blast still has its opportunity. So the TON ecosystem, there's no reason TON couldn't be every bit as big as Solana. So I'm keeping my eye. Let's look at that. Let's just peek at Solana, just the NFTs. It's the DeFi stuff. It's fungibles that are really cooking on Solana. There's no reason that TON couldn't be a really similar thing. There's no reason. This space will grow enough to support that many major chains, and we're on our way there. We are. Look at Solana, the number 2 blockchain by NFT sales volume. Love to see that. All right, Lemon, it's a big exchange. We don't have anything similar to compare. Okay. There's no BG ETH. There's no BG BTC. They have their... Yeah, okay, interesting. So I guess we don't know exactly what BG Soul. I don't think we know what that is, but interesting. I like seeing people coming out to cook. It's growth. It's good old fucking growth. I dig it, man. Sorry, I'm stuck on this. I can't get my mind off it. But yeah, keep my eyes on this. I should probably give these guys a follow. Whatever that is, probably going to be a big old deal. So, BG Soul, pay attention. God, I really wonder. I really, really do wonder. What other mints today? FSEC, Mutable Trees, Octo, whatever. Oh, hell yeah, we got Jared here. Okay, hang on, Jared. Just give me a quick second. This man better get his ass on camera today. I'm kidding, dude. You do not have to be on camera. I'm just playing. I definitely want to run Mutable Trees by Jared. All right, let me clean up. Let me get cleaned up here. I got to be presentable. When you get a legend like Jared joining, you better be on your A game here. I'm Aaron, dude, this is my dilemma. FSIC. I don't know. I almost don't want to touch that because that's exactly my problem. Is why FSIC and Blob are being talked about in the same sentence. That's my problem. That's my problem here. I don't know, man. Pixel or FSIC? I don't know. I don't know if right now is the time to be minting. I don't know. I just think that the OpenSea SEC stuff is, I think it's injected a little too much uncertainty here. So I don't know. If I were picking, to be honest, I like Pixel. I like fractionalized stuff. I like Bitcoin shrooms. I think those are absolutely freaking iconic. I got introduced to Kenny, who's behind the Pixel packets. Cool guy. I don't know if I'm minting anything personally. They both have an opportunity. I might argue that FSIC has the bigger upside, probably, because we could do the numbers on Pixel, right? You could run the numbers and see how much, what does a Bitcoin shroom floor have to get to for that to be profitable for you? And that's down the road. Pixel is if you want to own something that's pretty historic here, if you want exposure to a shroom. Know what I mean? So it's kind of, you pick what you like, I think, between those two, but I've made my concerns clear. Jared, good morning, sir. It's so good to see you, man.
GM, sir, I'm not on camera today because I'm driving. I'm trying not to multitask too much, but
Smart
I'll
man.
be on camera next week. I promise.
Good shit. Good shit. I don't care. And either way, it's just good having you here. So, what's good? What's good in your world, man? And then I can't wait to talk about kind of the OpenSea stuff. Definitely want to get into that a bit more. And I can't wait to just talk about what's the latest in art. There's been some great art sales this week. There's been some, I think, teases of some upcoming things. So would love to get into that with you. But still, yeah, let's start with how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Finally getting caught up from all my travels, and dude, really just enjoying the space right now. It's at a pace that I feel is like. I mean, you and I talk about it all the time. I think I have a high level of optimism, but I'm also at the point where, like there's a lot of stuff coming, but it's manageable. Like the space feels manageable right now, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a good way to put it. Do you think, okay, so I don't think I even have to set up the OpenSea stuff. We've been talking about it enough over here. What is up with my screens? Okay, did the OpenSea news yesterday, the Wells notice to OpenSea, do you think that put a screeching halt to what felt like was building up here, especially this week? And actually really over the past couple of weeks, because we were starting to see those prime time NFT collections floor prices starting to move, like in a really good way. Yesterday happens, Wells notice to OpenSea. Does that change any of your thoughts for, let's just say, short-term NFTs?
For me, not at all. And maybe that's a little bit naive, but I've always looked at art, which is my primary investment vehicle. Is like, and I think it was either Luca or maybe somebody else was talking about like, okay, so is a Picasso now a security? And I think for me is yes, people go in with some financial intentions, but overall, I don't think art is a security. I think you get into a really particular realm where it's like if you fractionalize ownership, that could be a really interesting dynamic. I know that like for the fund, my legal and I had a long conversation about like fractionalized ownership of a piece of art and kind of avoiding that. So I think that there's probably some level of truth in these like very select opportunities or examples, but I think overall most people will be in the clear. And again, I think OpenSea is a marketplace. I think there's going to be one or two things that are, whatever, maybe don't pass the sniff test and they're going to pay a little fine, but I think we move on in the long run.
Okay. Well, I like that. By the way, Mike, there's a little something for you to consider then with your question about Pixel or FSIC. Pixel is a fractionalized Bitcoin shroom, and this for sure we do know. We do know this. You start dealing with fractionalizing assets here. It doesn't matter if it's a collectible or art or whatever. You fractionalize it, they do look at that as a security. So what does that mean? Honestly, probably not a whole hell of a lot of anything. Bitcoin just feels like it's so decentralized that it doesn't matter what they call it. It's gonna be hard for them to do anything about it. But maybe in theory, not even theory, maybe that one's a little more directly a security, if that matters. I think we've been buying a lot of securities here in the space over the years here. I'll say this: good to hear that it doesn't. That you're not super concerned or worried or feel like it's going to be super impactful. I think I'm mostly with you. Although I do think that yesterday, with OpenSea, I think that's the start of a new phase here. The first, very serious or more serious attack on NFTs, and I think there's more to come. But I think everyone's expecting that to a degree too. But art, okay,
Politicized, but like I don't think that there is a coincidence that Trump issues a Bitcoin NFT in the same day, like you get a Wells notice, right? Like I think that like there's coincidence maybe, but at the same time, I think that there's, a little bit of like, hey, stay away, or like vilification to vilify something. I don't know. It feels a little bit off. Like it doesn't make any sense to go after OpenSea.
Jared, let's put our can we put our tinfoil hats on together? I think we should wear them, and I hope I didn't lose you. If so, just whatever. We'll work through it. But I think the timing was super interesting You're right. At minimum, I think it was interesting. Trump does his NFT collection. Wells notice happens. That said, okay, my brother Henry was saying that usually those things are in the works for a while. Like that the SEC was probably like OpenSea came out and said they were shocked by it. I don't buy that they're shocked. And so what he was saying is he thinks they've already been talking. They were trying to come to some kind of agreement, arrangement. They've been talking. These things don't just come out of nowhere. They're not a surprise. You know it's coming because you've probably been talking and working through stuff for probably months at least. So I don't think I buy that it comes out of nowhere. And man, but the timing still is funny, right? That it happens right at the Trump NFT drop too. I'm trying to make some connections here. You know that meme of the guy with the his like board and he's got all these like things pinned up and strings connecting everything. I'm doing that now. I'm literally that guy right now. So I'm trying to make a connection to the Telegram shit. I just feel like there's something there. Tell me I'm crazy though, Jared. Do you think that's a pure coincidence, or do you think the Telegram thing and even the outages on Telegram, which they're saying is because of a meme coin now, but I'm like, it just feels really weird right now.
It does feel weird. I don't think that there's any coincidences, in my opinion. The Telegram thing is a little bit peculiar. I think it's interesting to see like who steps in and who flexes. I think it's also a distraction, right? Like there's a lot of unrest with President, Macron not swearing in the prime minister or the president of France, and I think there's just a lot of like, I'll call it uncertain, and by creating some of these distractions, it allows for the focus to be outside of maybe what some of the real concerns, or maybe the citizens of France are focused on. And again, not trying to get too politicized, but it does feel like there's a lot coming to the forefront, and the timing all seems to be clear. One thing I was really interested in is like how Saudi Arabia came into. I don't know if you read this, but they pulled their support or their contract for a bunch of French fighter jets as a result of the Telegram stuff. And I think it's a really interesting how people are seeing themselves and the dollars that they're throwing around.
Yeah, our Saudi Arabian bros. I saw that. I think it's at the very least it's interesting. Maybe I kind of like that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there's more. Okay, Bergtown Music Group. It's not connected. Gensler's been on a rampage. If they wanted Trump, he would have got served. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Definitely right. Definitely. But give me this, man. Just let me enjoy my conspiracy theories. I'm literally going to make a tinfoil hat later. I'm actually going to do that because it feels right. It feels right. Anyway, looking at art, which, okay, I can't remember if I said this even just in the past few minutes. What really drove me nuts with the news yesterday was people screaming about, I can't believe they're calling art a security. I can't believe it. This is overstepping. This is how unhinged they are. I just got to believe that's pure engagement farming. I can't imagine anybody actually believes that. In your circles, you're in that artsy world, in that circle. Is anybody worried? And as I said out loud, I'm like, I don't believe anybody does. Then again, Jonathan Mann is suing the SEC because he's concerned to a degree. He at least wants clarity. So what does the artist and art community feel about this? Are they feeling some kind of impact?
I mean, from what I'm gathering, and especially with like the platform and all the artists I'm talking to, like to me, it's business as normal. And I just think that, like, yes, this is like a little veil of, I'll call it negativity with the OpenSea thing, but I mean, you have 100 ETH autoglyph sale that's up on the screen, right? Like, MP Cause just had a $100,000 sale of a physical piece to Canvas, who's like is a non, but it's, I think, very, I guess I will widely say, I won't give away the location, but like is a large billionaire. I mean, like there's a lot of really cool people pioneering things, and I'm excited. Like the art goes on, and I think in the decentralized nature of like blockchain and art, I think it just continues. I think this is a blip on the radar. To me, it's a buying opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but this is just the way. This is what my gut says. Like we've been here before, right?
I love that you mentioned that because I saw a post earlier this morning with the dip in Bitcoin. This post was pointing out certain whales, certain buyers, and certain investors who use that opportunity, and they were buying Bitcoin down at 58. It's like that's what they do. Again, and as Jared said, not financial advice. We're just talking about a market. We're talking about a market and the things we see. And what we do see is certain traders that do buy in these opportunities. They almost wait. They almost welcome this kind of news because it does have that effect on prices, and that's the opportunity they're looking for. So if you're an art collector and there's things you're looking for, this may have an impact on the price. You may get it a little cheaper. Again, I will keep saying it, NFA, but opportunities. These kind of moments are opportunities at the same time. So that autoglyph sale, by the way, really nice. Almost 100 ETH here. We'll just say 100 ETH, but also the lowest or cheapest autoglyph we've seen sell in like 3-ish years, huh? Almost 2.5 years. I think that's more accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most. I don't. Maybe there was one that got weaved closer or somewhere near it, but overall, I think it's a. I mean, there's only 512 of these things. They're historic. It's amazing.
Truly. Okay, so from Larva Labs, we know that part. And I said earlier it might be the first on-chain generative art, but also I could so be wrong. There's so many like hidden gems from the old days that a lot of people don't know about, and I might not know about. But I say at the very least iconic. But is Autoglyphs the first on-chain gen art?
It is, to my knowledge. Again, to your point, like maybe somebody did something at some point, but it's widely accepted as the first on-chain generative.
Man, so cool. Yeah, I mean, truly an iconic piece, iconic collection. Somebody got a Grail. That's all I know for sure. Somebody got a Grail. That's the kind of thing that lives in a collection forever. And that's one of those, like, we throw historic around too casually. This actually is.
Yeah, this is truly historic. I think one of the things that's really interesting, though, is there's a DAO out there that may be dissolving that has 26 of them.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really interesting dynamic where, I mean, obviously I'd love to have a autoglyph in my collection. Full disclosure, I don't have 100 ETH just like lying around for an autoglyph buy. But that being said, I think there's a really interesting dynamic, and again, it goes back to, are you buying for today? Are you buying for tomorrow, or are you buying for, a lifetime? There's only 512 of these, and if they do hold up as that historical significance. I gotta imagine there's 512 people out there who would want a piece of history, and I think it will age well. I just think there's would be a really interesting dynamic of, like when 3AC went under and the Starry Nights collection came in. I think Sotheby's did a phenomenal job of like placing the Fidenza so it didn't crash the Fidenza market. I just wonder if it's the same case for this DAO, or if it, if the greater good of people who want some crazy amount of liquidity at that moment will triumph. So there's the whole point. I think they're amazing. I hope one day to have one in my collection.
Yeah, man.
But it's also
okay. I got a question.
It's an interesting time, right? Things are playing out.
Definitely, dude. Okay, here's the question. This goes for you guys who are tuning in right now, but also Jared, for you get a choice. Autoglyph, CryptoPunk. You get the choice. You give on the spot. You got to make your decision. And you don't get to pick either one. You just get one. What are you picking?
I'm taking 100 ETH Punk. I mean, by that time you're getting like a pretty non-floor one, but I just think punks are that's a tough. It's a tough decision. The art connoisseur in me wants to say autoglyph, but I think the reality is just like a punk is so iconic. I think it's access to a community and builders. There's more to it than just iconic art and a piece of history. It's truly culture.
Oh man, perfect way to put it. It is. It is culture. It's literally. I still say everything happening now, and to some degree, even art collections, to some degree, as far as like drop mechanics and traits and all that. Maybe traits specifically, but punks have influenced everything happening here. Everything happening in this space is really mostly because of CryptoPunks. I'm thinking if I can really lump in art with it, I can't. I don't think I can. But anyway, so freaking impactful. Such an incredible piece of culture here. I love it, man. Real quick, we've been talking about some mints coming up here. Hang on a second. Dude, stop coming in here spamming your shit. It was okay yesterday. It's super old now. All right. Dealt with. That's so fucking annoying. People just come and show meme coins and stuff. It comes with the territory. Okay. Under one of the FSIC posts on X, it's, again, a collection we were looking at. We got some whitelists too. They commented they could pivot the rigs to Bitcoin mining if fractals don't take off. Yeah. I don't know, man. Not having a plan, not having... I don't like it. I think I'm not minting. So, DeYank, good to see you, sir. GMs to you. Okay. Man, different vibe when you come in halfway through, man. The show's like almost done, and I still got things I got to talk to you about. The Monument game.
Let's rock and roll, dude. I'll stick around for a long time.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's see. Monument game, 1 year anniversary yesterday, which amazing. I can't believe it's been a year. This was one of the biggest moments of all of 2023 and even beyond, even going back, even if you lump in this year, one of the biggest things I've seen, period, in the art space here in a while. So happy fucking anniversary, Monument game, first off. But I'm hearing rumors there might be a chapter 2. And maybe Sam said that. I don't think he said it in his initial post, but other people were talking about it. I'm like, again, maybe he did say that somewhere. I would love to hear just your thoughts on Monument game, but then also if you think there's a chapter 2 coming up.
So to answer your question, yes, I think there's a chapter 2. I'm not privy to anything, but I just want to take a step back and say, like, kudos to Sam. I mean, he's created something that has, like, I mean, we talked about this last week, right? Be a student of the game. He's created a sustainable environment where people are not only engaged, but, like, I mean, again, if you're looking at it from a financial perspective, like, things are holding value. I mean, how many times are, Skulls of Lucci selling for 60 to 80 ETH? I mean, that's real money, man. But even with the Monuments game, I think it's pretty much held like a 64 for a long duration, and he's just doing really great stuff. So it makes sense to me to have a round 2 to continue that expansion of your ecosystem and onboarding more people, just so your legacy grows later and later. It's a no-brainer to me.
Dude, I'm truly, truly hoping that I hope there is a chapter 2. I hope it's like a bigger player base, and I love it. It's so clever, the fact that he's turned art in a bit into a game. I mean, it's in the title, Monument Game. It is gamified. To your point, yes, he figured out how to get people's attention in a big, big way. So the first one was limited to, and I might have this number wrong. I'm thinking of those player tokens, 200-ish, 250. Right, we had the Skull of Lucy or Lucci, and that was different. Those people got to... Actually, I'm trying to remember the difference between the two now. Skull of Lucy or Lucci is part of his, like, kind of... It's a panel. It's a... what's the word for it?
It's like a council. And, yeah.
Council, there it is.
Cult, if you're probably being honest. Council, if you're being PC. But no, I think that they originally given to people who were bidders. It kind of started off as a bidders edition, but that had the full intent of growing into it. And then what was really cool is it was given 2 pieces were given to each person, and that individual was able to, like, gift or sell their second piece for, like, the sustainable expansion of the council, so to speak.
I love that. Like curating that council. And I like, if it's a cult, that's a cult I want to be in. And cults are fine. I like them. But like, I've got a little community, and it's invite only. There's no buying things to get in. It's you just have to be invited in. I love that. I love curating the people involved in that way. It brings a kind of quality, like a high caliber kind of person to it. So I love that method. So then I remember these player tokens. Oh, go ahead, Jared.
What I was gonna say is, I think that you know, a shameless plug here is, you know, that's also what Delta's doing. Like he has these special editions in issues, and it's not like a Skull of Lucci per se, but like the special edition, he's promised like future utility, and the whole intent is to like bring people together, bring these like deep collectors and passionate people within his ecosystem into one realm, so that way they can connect and talk. And he's going to do like things like private dinners and special art drops. So there's like, again, probably for the SEC's purposes, there's no promise of anything. But you know, at the same time, like it's about the aggregation of passionate people and starting to grow a sustainable thing. And I bring that all up partially to say, like, you know, Sam, going back to this Monuments game versus Skulls of Lucci and all that, like it's, you know, he's leading the pack on what this looks like and what it could be for the system. And I mean, it's not just it's community building, but community building around like a person. And like that was like digital art and, you know, digital collectibles. You know, that was one thing that I always loved about like what Gary Vee was saying is like it's, you know, there's verifiable, there's on-chain provenance, you know, there's everything that's like everything that you could possibly want. Like, oh, I'm a member of this. No, you're not. It's not in your fucking wallet. Like, oh, I do this. No, it's not. You didn't do this. Oh, dude, I was there from day one. No, you weren't. You bought it from so. So like this community building, I think, is just a really fascinating concept that I think ages extremely well. And to bring it full circle back to Sam, Sam is a mastermind at it. I genuinely am like, and like, let's take a look at the actual Monuments game piece, right? Like it's bought by Ryan over at One of One, like for some absurd amount of money.
Oh,
It gets
700
displayed,
something thousand, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah,
which is probably going to go down as a steal, right? Like it sounds weird to
agreed.
say this. He's also bought Human One for 29 million and a few
Wow.
other things. So like this is an elite collector. It's going into, I mean, I've had the pleasure of like interviewing Ryan, probably one of the most underrated individuals in this space. Him and Derek Edwards, they're just so brilliant. It's incredible. But the whole point being is like this art is so dynamic. I love the community aspect of people. It's like the last Chromie Squiggle minted, right? Or the second to last. There's like a community participation. Like you got to put your story in, like that's documented in the art piece. Like there's so many layers and a depth to this art that it's really innovative. And you can look at it on the surface, but the more you scratch the surface, like the greater it gets.
Um, man, it's like just hearing the stories of it, and even the buyer who I don't know if I was aware or knew the name, but knowing what kind of collection this resides in is so cool to hear. And it brings me back to last year. I mean, it was like it was a really slow time for NFTs. It was very actually it was getting to like the start of the bear market. People were feeling what was coming, and yet this was like a beacon of light during that time. It was something everybody was paying attention to, and truthfully, we needed it right then. We did. I think it was great to have art to focus on, and man, for it to sell the way it did and command that kind of attention it did, people got to keep in mind that wasn't even in an art meta. It really wasn't. We had the goose, right? That ringers, that iconic ringers piece, selling at Christie's or Sotheby's. That $6 million sale is like a record sale. But still, it wasn't like the art market was cooking back then. So interesting times. It was again that what stood out to me was how much attention this captured in a time where nobody really cared about art. Sad to say, but it is what it is. And this was a special time last year. So I really look forward to chapter 2. I hope, again, selfishly, I hope it's a bigger user base that gets to participate. Dude, I'll always kick myself for not buying that player token. I remember that sale happening on Nifty Gateway. I maybe didn't have enough to do it. I remember it was probably something like that where I saw them. I think there were 2 ETH to mint. I think that was it, maybe 3. But I looked at them like that is such an obvious play. Like that is such an obvious slam dunk thing. You could just feel everything going on in that ecosystem. So that's one of my biggest
Yeah.
regrets in the space is not doing that. But I won't make that mistake around here. Make that mistake again if we do have a chapter 2 that involves people again.
Yeah, it's I think that in this world of like when airdrop and derivatives of certain things, like this is a very, you know, because I look at like proof, right? Like not to knock on them, you had 1,000 core proof collective holders, then Moonbirds came, and then the community didn't scale, it got too big too quick. And I'm not saying it was bad, it was just it was another data point versus this and Sam's ecosystem to me feels like a very sustainable growth, and it's like done at a cadence that carries the right amount of momentum. To your point, I hope there's a part two, and time will tell. But I'm gonna look at it differently myself.
Yeah, love it, man. Speaking of moonbirds and just proof in general, that's probably like, if not the number one NFT I'm chasing. I'm honestly, I want a Milady, but I think moonbirds is either top or right behind it. I don't know why, but I got the spidey sense thing with it. To me, moonbirds make a lot of sense, and it's to get into like that artsy kind of community and just the feeling what they might do with IP here and really the potential they have under the Yuga Labs umbrella. So I don't know what just triggered that, but I'm feeling
A little
something there.
biased, but I'm a little. I low key think that there's a lot of upward potential there too. It's just it's down 99% off the highs. Like at some point, you just go, okay, the downside risk versus the upside potential. And it's a
Mhm.
group of passionate people. I mean, I've been a day one proof holder, so I've seen the highs and the lows. I have moonbirds. I was lucky enough to get out of one at like 30 ETH.
Good Lord. Nice.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. I actually, believe it or not, I floored my moonbird to buy my current PFP, my squiggle.
Oh, wow.
Um,
It's a nice
I had a
trade,
low
man.
number. Yeah, so I mean, is it worth 30? I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, but at least relative to where a relative to where a moonbird is today, it looks like a great
There
trade.
you go. I was gonna say, dude, I don't think I've ever like sat with your PFP to like really just kind of like take it all in. You've got a nice looking squiggle, man. That's a nice one.
Hey yo, uh, what was it? J Squiggle?
J Squiggle.
No,
It's the fucking
so
best.
what's really cool about mine is I actually I hunted this thing down for 8 months, and I put WETH offers in on it that were higher than what I actually bought it for. And so I bought it within. I have a listings bot and some other things, but the tools that I use. But I bought it within 5 minutes of listing. So it's a
Wow.
it's like the thing that got away. This is the squiggle that I actually was able to acquire. I'm
I
very
love
fortunate.
that. Dude, that's awesome. I love that kind of story. I see people tweet this here and there too. There's like you've got a specific punk you're looking for, or you're trying to find the perfect one. I can't remember which, but I like that people have that kind of conviction and man, the patience to play that long game and wait, and maybe play the offer game, right? Throwing bids, talking to the person, and there just comes a moment in time where this perfect situation, this scenario unfolds. It happens, and it happens when it's meant to be, but. It's cool you got into your squiggle sort of that way. That it was
Yeah.
the one
So
that spoke
this
to you.
is it's not just the one that spoke to me. It's like to me it's beautiful, but technically in metadata wise, it was very special too. I don't know if you're familiar with something, but there's a concept called the day zero squiggle. It's not a official trait. It's kind of a community derived trait, but the first 500 and technically 42, but up until token number 541, because there's a zero mint for snow, were minted with the first day the squiggle was open. So you think about that, like of the 10,000, only 541 were minted the first day, right? Like there's this whole concept of like, oh, if you don't mint out in an hour or two, like you're a failure, blah, blah, blah. But like snow showed the way of like, it doesn't need to be that way. So I think that there's something to be historically significant. And then, I'm really big on provenance right now. The It's a one owner. Like I bought it direct from the person who minted it, and the person is well, they're not public, but I think it's a level of provenance that could play out to be very
Oh,
popular. So having like a one provenance piece, day zero, it's the most colorful day zero bold, I think, or the not the most colorful. That's a lie. It's the one that's closest to perfect. So it's like
hmm.
perfect meaning it shows it's the closest one. It's within 5 color hues of showing every single color in the squiggle algorithm. So it's the closest to having all of them, and that's why I hunted it out. Is like, oh, and it's something called a height four, which is like this like BS metadata thing, but it's like it really doesn't affect anything. The way the algorithm ended up coming out is it doesn't affect the actual height, which is funny. So it's like it's got this like anomaly of a feature that really means nothing. So it was kind of like a funny little quirk in the algorithm to me. So yeah, it ticked a lot of boxes for me.
Funny enough too, even with a trait that maybe you can't even see, because there's collections out there with traits that, well, I mean, hell, there's some NFTs that are worth more because it has no traits. I love these little things that just kind of add. They just somehow add to collections for sometimes for no good reason other than it's there. So I love the idea that somebody's faced with two squiggles and they like them both, and maybe the deciding factor for a lot of people it may just be that it happens to have this trait while the other one doesn't have it, or it's got a more rare version of that trait. Like that does actually matter when it comes down to it. So I've always loved that about NFTs, and just how there's so many different things that anybody's going to find valuable, and it's different reasons for different people. It's a cool story, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Again, great looking squiggle. We'll wrap it up in just a minute here. We saw some big old X copy sales this week, man. Again, Punks last week, and I think to a degree the week before was it was the are we back kind of indicator there, and we mentioned X copy is a very similar thing. I watched the X copy sales bot, and man, it's been going off all week. You've got some of the more affordable ones selling. You've got the mid tier like the grifters, and it's not like they're cheap either. But X copy wise, they're it's a nice collection, those grifters. But we had 5 big sales, 5 of the middle to higher end. We saw the Doomed sell for 21 ETH. We saw Overlord sell for 35 ETH. We saw Gobble sell for 22, almost 23 ETH. And then we saw 2 NFTs selling for 40 ETH. So we had Deathless, and then we had the State of Us. This was, I think, the most recent one, maybe just 2 days ago. Yeah, just 2 days ago, this one sold. So again, a lot of people still shopping for punks. Those sales are still rattling off, but a lot of people hunting for their X copies. And that only happens, guys. I know I said this before, but that only happens when people think they're not going to be at that price for long, right? You get these are guys who've probably been hunting for a bit, either for any X copy of that tier or specific ones they've been waiting on. And when you feel that the market's about to come back, which I think all of us do, some point you're like, I gotta get it before it's too late. It's literal FOMO, but also not, because I think these guys are patient and savvy traders here. But great to see those. And I want to say, out of those 5 big sales, we're talking 170 ETH or so with just 5 NFTs. Pretty significant stuff. What do you think of the X copy sales?
So I think this is incredible. There's obviously a momentum around X and his work, but I think one of the things that's you said, I would use the word collectors. I actually think those are going to vaults and collectors that are going to get locked up and potentially, not see the market ever again. I think the one that sold for 40 ETH was an addition of 5. I mean, you go look at the holders of those 5 editions, and they're again, chances are you will never, or you may not have an opportunity to collect that. And I think it's a really interesting dynamic. I think that this price action, it's in line with the actions of the previous cycle, where you saw X copy, just balloon in price. Same thing with punks. I think that these are proven to be clear winners, and I think on a long enough timeline, 10 years from now, you're gonna laugh at the concept of being able to have been even able to purchase them. I mean, 40 ETH again is a stretch. Yeah, I think that's the one that was 1 of 5. But it's again, my where I'm going is I again don't have 170 ETH liquid right now, so it's what's next? What's going to be adjacent? What's going to have the same level of provenance? But I mean, dude, this is so encouraging to me. It gets me super excited. I think it's and the thing that's really intriguing to me about this is it's going to collectors, not flippers, and these are people throwing around real money.
It's a great freaking sign. It really, really is. Okay. Well, I think. Well, actually, let me ask you this: any other happenings in the art world this week? Either noteworthy sales, big mints coming up, anything out there happening? And by the way, dude, I'm seeing issues all over my timeline every day. Still, every day. It's cool to see.
I mean, that's the dynamic. We have this. I'll make a quick plug. If you go to 8nap.art under the collections tab, you see issues. There's still individual auction pieces. So or individual piece auctions. And the whole intent of this was to take that timeline and extrapolate it, to pull it out so it's not just a flash in the pan on your timeline, but you're able to enjoy the pieces, enjoy the stories, and keep it at the forefront, right? Like it's a slow burn, but again, I'm a student of the game, and looking at the squiggles and how it went out, I just think that there's something brilliant when you're able to put the art in the hands of people who appreciate it, who are going to talk about it and create the momentum like in a sustainable fashion. So thank you for that. To answer your question, I think we hit on the big sales. I mean, punks, the autoglyph. I think that if you're out there, there's some really great art at reasonable prices. But yeah, man, I think we're on the precipice of some interesting times.
I'm very genuinely getting pretty damn excited here. I hope the OpenSea stuff didn't really throw us off course too hard. We'll see. And a little breaking news here. And I have not clicked in. I don't know when exactly this is happening, but Trump to announce plan to make U.S. the crypto capital of the planet. Things you love to see, man. Again, details, when, all that stuff. What's he going to say? I don't know. But actually, I'm connecting some dots in my head right now. Again, back to the conspiracy theory shit and pinning shit on my board. This isn't even a conspiracy theory. Trump did tweet the DeFi project. I need to remember the name of that. Let me peek real quick. What did they rename that to? World Liberty? Does that ring a bell? Initially was Be Defiant, right? But I think it was renamed World Liberty. I want to find it real quick just so I can at least leave you with something that's accurate here. World Liberty. Whatever. You don't need to wait for me to find this stuff, guys. But here it is. Here it is. Yeah, the Defiant project got renamed to World Liberty. There's trademarks for this stuff too. Donald Trump did tweet this out today. So whatever's happening here is coming sooner rather than later. Their Telegram. They've also been pushing this stuff. So keep an eye on this stuff, guys. Whatever. Again, love, hate the guy. It literally doesn't matter. The fact that a former president is here in crypto, all in on crypto, all in on NFTs. New collection this past week just that got dropped. It speaks to what this space is. We all know what this space can be, and I'll take anybody. I'll welcome anybody who wants to help us get to that goal. It's why we're here. So we'll see what it is, what he's going to bring to make this the crypto capital of the planet. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. So there we go. Trying to think anything else. I think that kind of covers it. I've mentioned to all you guys watching, Jared, I've told you there's probably some changes coming format of the show. Jared, just so you know, there will probably be a space at the same time as the video, so people can pick what flavor they want, which will be fun. Get a little more interactive with people coming up to chat. So I'll keep you posted on all those changes. But dude, appreciate you coming, even with your busy schedule and hanging and sharing your insights. So thank you, sir. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Go, Jared, you just unmuted. Go ahead if you want.
It's an absolute pleasure, dude. I the more the merrier. Bring them on up. I love the conversation. You have like really great vibes, so let's make it happen, dude. I'm all in. I
think these guys can get a little wild too, so brace yourself. Guys, I'll see you this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on SlamX Official on YouTube. It's SlamXIO over on X. And stay tuned because I do think we'll have a spaces going for the afternoon show. So if you want to come shoot the shit with Henry, with Joe, with myself, that's where you want to be. Anyway, guys, hope you have a fantastic day. We'll see you in a little bit, guys. See ya.